Hey everyone, it's your boy njnp, and here with an interview. I'm going to be talking with the player known as Skeptics, and we're going to be talking about his big decision. Basically, Skeptics made this post on the Smogon forums that caught a lot of attention, and basically, to give you a summarization, he is going to try and accomplish basically playing a year of mods, just going like completely mods, correct?
All right. Yep,
All right.
that's it.
Um, but yeah, could you introduce yourself to the people, please?
Hi guys, I'm Skeptics. My name's actually Brian, but I'm known as Skeptics on the forum. And I'm going to be trying to play competitive mons full time for a whole year.
So like, is that like okay? So a lot of people just think that's like impossible to accomplish. Do you honestly feel like you will be able to pull that off, no man?
It's definitely feasible for me to pull off. The question is if I get burned out before the year's over. But for the first couple of months, I can definitely see myself putting like 40 hours a week, grinding on the ladder and stuff like that.
So certainly one thing I've experienced as a player is, you want to have a good environment, just like as you want to have a good environment where you work. And being on Smogon, I've made certain mistakes and caught certain backlash for certain things I've said. Um, Now you called backlash immediately after your post because you stated that you were a 28-year-old banker, and then the SBO post you stated you're a freshman. Could you basically, let people know what exactly you are, and
Building. Sure.
will you be
I'm
honest
actually
with will you be honest with with the
embarrassed.
community in the future, basically?
Um, I am 28 years old. I'm actually a sophomore in college right now. I said I was a banker just because people would ridicule this idea more, a stable income right now. However, because I've actually had on and off experience with working and stuff, because I'm in college still, and so I have enough money saved up plus the cost of living that I'd be living at home would be enough to where I could reasonably achieve playing Pokemon for like, but yeah, I'm a sophomore in college. This is my third semester. I'm about to finish up. I actually have a final tomorrow. I'm 28.
Okay, okay. So, like, being a banker, or at least studying, etc. I'm sure you know all about investments. This is a side question, but why invest your time money into bonds and not an asset that's growing, such as Bitcoin?
I actually do have a dabble in cryptocurrencies, but I guess that's beside the point. The thing is I feel like whenever my good friend, me and him were talking about like the purpose of life and stuff like, and we just decided like it's to do something that you're happy with and fulfill your own personal goals. And I've been playing competitive Pokemon on and off for like the past 7 years, and been part of Smogon for maybe a year now. I think that I'm happy whenever I play Pokemon. So I mean, like taking it off year for me and just playing waste of time to me. It's something that I found like fulfilling and like enlightening, I guess.
You got a lot of attention with your post, as I already stated. I must ask, as much as I love Smogon, sometimes it's not the best environment or community to be around. Like, what about this site made you want to try and play Mons full time?
It's not the site that makes me want to play Mons full time. It's the actual game of competitive Pokemon. It's something that I just find very uh, addicting, to say the least. Accomplished anything yet? It's a desire for myself to actually like win something, and I think that spend a whole year trying to. Once I'm done winning it, I can be done with this game. I've actually done this before in a similar game in 2014. Did you ever play Clash of Clans?
No, I never played Clash of Clans. I mean, I certainly had tons of friends around me that played that game heavy, but no, I never really dabbled in it.
Well, similar cases where I had a like I was basically addicted to the game, and I actually peaked the top 100 leaderboard, which is a hard feat to do. It's called lots of time and money doing that, but yeah, once I did that, I felt a sense of fulfillment in the game. I could finally like, move on with closure. I'm gonna be transparent here. Like my grades were terrible this semester. That's part of the reason is because I played like Pokemon nonstop, instead of prioritizing schoolwork. So I'm hoping like, hey, if I accomplish something, I'll have closure on the game and focus onto something else.
So, being that's the case, are you not worried about how your life will be affected? Like, like it's just come out the way that you're living life freely, which is perfectly fine. It's your life. But are you like being addicted to things? Are you afraid that Mons is a game that we all love and enjoy, but we all know that it can be a strain, especially mentally. Like you getting hacks out of games. Are you sure that you'll be able to keep yourself together playing Mons all the time instead of like Clash of Clans certainly it just I'm not gonna say isn't a respectable game. Oh no, hell yeah it is, but it certainly is not as intense as Mons can be. To go from you have a game in the bag to just the game being taken away because you missed an attack. It's reasons why certain players such as Janvad, play the game sparingly as it is. Players such as Blender are trying to walk away. Like what makes you think that you'll be able to, I would say, keep mental stability, to be honest?
See, the thing is like what people are actually like forgetting is like because I'm playing. Whenever I do this is maybe I'll spend like 9 to 5 playing Pokemon, right? And I still have like the rest of the day to just like do whatever I want and like lounge around. So I think like the that's needed is kind of being overstated because sure it's mentally straining whenever you have school as a priority or like a job as a priority. But whenever you only have like Pokemon to focus on, I don't know how mentally straining it's actually going to be on me. For sure, there's a chance to get burned out. Like RNG causes me to like quit the game, but happening. At least not in like the first 3 months.
Okay, okay. So a lot of people, at least have come to me, state their opinion. I've heard things such as "this is crazy." They think some people have thought that you're a dickhead. Some people thought you're arrogant. Me personally, I get the vibe that you may become "quote unquote" the LeVar Ball of Smogon. How do you feel about certain opinions as that?
I, my experience in Smogon community is very limited, but end of site, which I managed a team, which caused me to be like obsessive with this game and caused the dip in my grades. But come up a bit abrasive, but I think that is because of the actions I did, but not because of who I actually am. And I'm hoping that like people see I'm like I don't even think like my is that bad. I think it's one niche community and not really small.
So, the idiot ninja called you out on your Smogon post, and he called you out for how the way you acted in the World Cup of Pokemon Perfect, which is, what some people have criticized you for. Do you have a response to the call out, or, how do you feel? Like, do you think he characterized you in the right way, or do you feel like there's some false
Some of the
statements?
stuff were completely true. For example, I did juggle. It wasn't banned. Like juggle the rosters or lineups. But I think it's only really him that had that opinion about me. Him and like maybe like another manager. One-off situations with me. Because like like if you read like my team shout out posts for me, they all said I was like this great manager, dedicated, like nice, approachable guy. I think that they just saw like the bad side of me. Don't plan to play team tours in the year 2018. I just think there's too much drama associated with them and too much politics.
Okay, but that's certainly fair. I definitely do think that team tournaments are generally speaking a mess. World Cup's certainly pretty awful, at least in my opinion. So like, no, go on.
Like there's team identity with like a bunch of Italians or a bunch of French people. They're gonna be more passionate because they have like because of their identity. So that causes more drama and tension within the tournament.
So you're not participating in team tournaments, and you're just going to specifically do single tournaments. I mean, I guess during the time that the team tournaments are happening, or will you be like entering in like, I guess, non-trophy tournaments, like random tournaments, or will you be training for just the singular tournaments during that time?
Well, if we look at the tournament schedule, some of them actually, some of the tournaments overlap.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean they do overlap, but you will have some space naturally.
Yeah, but I really think that, I mean, with a job similarly, you're gonna take like an off like 3 or 4 weeks out of the year. So I mean, like the odds of me just like taking a break for months completely because I something that I wanted and I need a mental break are pretty high. But I mean, like let's just say during like Snake or something, I don't play. I'll be training towards like the next tournament, which would probably be OLT. And like maybe my mentality changes on team tournaments, and I decide to join them. But I mean, the plan right now, given the drama that of the last one that I was involved in, not to say that my team was bad, my team was great, but just the whole drama surrounding the whole tournament isn't something I want to be a part of again.
Yeah, I can understand that. You say in your post, you highlighted that you only be playing Smogon basically tiers. You only will be accomplishing this with Smogon tiers. You basically don't want to try and benefit from the Pokemon Stars format that is VGC, that even gives you prizes if you do well in those tournaments. Why Smogon over VGC? I mean, they aren't even consistent with cash prizes to date.
Um, Smogon tiers are way more appealing than the VGC tiers. Just to me, I'm not a doubles fan whatsoever. I despise the tier or the format. In games are all singles based, so naturally I'm going to gravitate towards the singles competitive format, towards the doubles competitive format. Not to mention, guys are like the money for me, but I just like what I enjoy doing, and I enjoy playing singles. So to force myself to play VGC because it's the official competitive, like it like defeats the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do.
I understand. So like, I must admit, what you're trying to accomplish, making money playing Pokemon isn't impossible. Such players, good friend of mine, in fact, Pokemon is doing that. Are you going to be trying to make any revenue? Like, will you be doing Patreon? Will you be doing being a YouTube personality, make money with AdSense? Will you be taking donations, or are you just going to be providing for yourself?
So I think my main goal is not money. Whenever I'm playing, they're gonna do this because it'd be stupid to try to make money off of Smogon tournaments. Like the prizes are so minuscule. To me, it's more like the satisfaction of winning and doing well, and something that I like highly enjoy. Yeah. But I mean, people have talked to me about doing like a bi-weekly or monthly video update of like my accomplishments or like my schedule I've been following. So I mean, I may do that, but that's more out of personal or a public interest than my own personal interest. Make money off of competitive.
Will you expand off of this? Like, cause you're saying like after this year, you're gonna try to accomplish what you can. Like, will you try to move on to like other revenue? Like, will you try to like benefit from, I guess, the exposure that you've already received, or is it just go in, you try to do what you can. If you don't pull it off, or if you do pull it off, you're done. Like, what's do you have like an end goal besides like after? I mean, like basically after you're done with this, what are your next missions?
So basically, it's to find closure, and I think that winning a trophy will give me closure in this game to where I can just move on and do something else.
So if you don't win a trophy this year, do you keep on going? Like, I mean, do you keep on trying to attempt this? Like, does this become 1 year and does this move on to 2 years, or do you make it where after this year full time you take a step back if you aren't able to pull off that goal and you just start playing Mons like part time, like most players on Smogon do, like, or casually, like what is going to be your how are you going to go about it?
do get a trophy this year, I'm gonna move on to part time the following year. I'll still want to do as much as I can in 1 year. I will just play part time. And the thing with me is I have like an addictive personality to where I feel like if I don't get a trophy the 2018, I'm gonna come back to 2019 with the same game plan of trying to get a trophy by any means possible. Especially if I feel like it either underperformed or got like hatched out like a tournament that I could have won. So
like your end goal is to get a trophy. I mean, there's certain players on Smogon here that have 3 of them. Like they have multiple trophies, and they're not, I would say, taking it as serious as you. Like, why do you feel like you need to take these means to gain? Which seems that your end goal is it's not money, so it's not attention. Like, what? Why go these way? Excuse me. Why go this way to just gain a trophy? Pixels at that. It's not physical.
I guess it's more about personal achievement, more so. 2 trophies. I mean, they've been trying for like the last 5 years or so. So I mean, like playing part time for 5 years. I think it adds up to about a year playing full time. And like, while I'm trying to be like realistic with my ambitions of like winning 1 trophy as a goal, I think like, I mean, there's some official tournaments to where I have a huge comparative advantage compared to other people. The amount of time I can spend on the tournament itself. So like, I think that like, especially like Grand Slam, like that's a tournament that I think I'll have very good odds to win, just because I can practice every single tier every single day to the point where I'm as good as a main for that tier. Except I main every single tier in that format, which at that point is like it gives you such a higher advantage than like the rest of the competitors once you qualify for playoffs. So yeah, I think that if I win 1, that's great. If I don't win any, then like, well, then it sucks because I just wasted a whole year, and I'm probably gonna try again. 2 or more, I think that it's like it's really hard, but if it happens, it's like makes sense just because of the time I put in.
So okay, all right. So so you're saying if you don't succeed, you'll try again. But I guess my question is, yeah, basically from what you've portrayed in the post, you definitely have enough money saved up for this year. I mean, what will you do like for the following year? Like, are you actually, have you planned for if you fail, if you don't pull off with your confidence? And I don't, by any means, I don't, I would, I mean, if you're able to succeed, win a trophy, that's fantastic. But not everyone is pulled up a trophy. Hey, hell, I've won a trophy, but I've lost it. I lost it because of complications, etc. But no, for real, like if you don't win a trophy, and like how will you be able to sustain yourself basically to continue?
Honestly, I don't have the economic means to sustain myself for year 2. But given that this idea came about in 2 months and I had enough savings, I mean, like, since you brought up like cryptocurrencies, for example, I have a wallet and stuff, and like that's a huge bubble right there. So like, maybe the money that I have in there will be enough to possibly support like a year or 2 of this endeavor. After a year playing this full time, I doubt I'm gonna want to even touch Mons again for like 40 hours a week. That'd be way too much Pokemon.
I see. So like, so like basically, like if the cryptocurrency that you're invested in explodes, you'll have even more time to do on this.
But I guess I feel like I'd have some personal, because I mean, if I'm spending 40 hours a week and I don't accomplish like anything to the point where it's been, I can take a step back and have some self-assessment. Say, hey, maybe I'm just not gonna win anything. It's better not to waste my time. But I mean, if I got in playoff after playoff and like made like semis, then like that's gonna fuel me to try harder.
Certain players like Blender have done like you accomplished, been consistent in the tournaments, have done so well, but sadly have not been able to get the pleasure. I mean, of winning a trophy, even been in finals of OST. Like, will you step away if you've put off a career what Blender has, which is pretty amazing, but has not hit the goal that most people when they join the forums are going for, which is a trophy.
If I'm in the same situation as a Blunder, which is an incredible thing to accomplish to begin with, that's just going to drive me to want to win even more, as I'm sure it does to Blunder to some extent. You've gotten this close multiple times, and then you've not won yet. Like you want to seal that deal once.
Okay. All right. I have some final questions. One of them being, I mean, do you have any players that you look up to or inspired to be heading into this? And do you have any players that you feel like you're coming after them and you're coming to take their primetime place on Smogon? Like, any people you feel like you will invalidate?
Sure. That the old gen or classic is going to be interesting. I'll definitely shake it up because tsunami shake it up. But no, I think that I will definitely qualify for playoffs in that tournament. Support I have and like the practice I'll be getting. So I think that maybe I'll invalidate some of the established old gen players' doubts that they're probably going to have after hearing this interview. But maybe I'm talking too quick and I won't even qualify, which would be kind of sad. But I could go into the next tournament because there's five other opportunities at that point.
Yeah, about.
So I guess that would be my gripe with one community. As in terms of players I look up to, one guy I need to give a shout out to is Callus. I don't know if you know who he is.
I mean, I consider him a really respectable player. He's done a lot of money tournaments around here and there. Cool guy for sure. I've interacted with him.
I think he's in the right steps to make Pokemon more of an esport by throwing down money, which like Smogon doesn't even do, even though they make tons of money on their site. So I look up to that value that he Pokemon enough to try to make it more of an esport, and he's doing something similar to me because full-time players is how you go from a game to an esport. So I can respect that. And then like players who are consistent like CL, 3 individuals, which is crazy.
Very impressive for sure.
Man's
pulled it off with a Pikachu too.
Yeah, that was something else. Yeah, but just that consistency and able to clutch with no help also is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's someone I look up to.
Yeah, certainly isn't usually is regarded as a player that isn't flashy with it either. But when you bring a Pikachu, you change a few people's minds. My last question, you stated people that you look up to, and you stated people that you admire. And will you be getting any help on your competitive play? Because of now, you haven't had any major success as a smaller tournament. You're trying to go for a trophy, which to get a trophy, you gotta beat the best of the best, generally speaking, or you're gonna have to hack your way to it. But are you gonna be getting any help?
Help, especially for tiers like classic and lower tiers. I'm fairly confident in Gen 5 through 7 already. For Gens 1 through 4 is something that I'll be seeking help, and people have already approached me offering their help, which is nice because they're also highly respected people in the community who are high-level players. So support that's needed. It'll just come down to me performing, which I think I can. Yeah, I definitely can.
So you state that you think that you're a competent Gen 5 to 7 player. Like, if you could take any, because I'm sure you follow the current Smogon scene actively, right?
Sure, so I'm definitely a worker, but I know what goes on.
So like, what, as you state you're competent, what where would you put yourself for each tier? Like if you could compare yourself to a player in competency. So like let's say like for Gen 5, the peak would be someone as McMegan, Finch, CL. Gen 6, the peak would people such as Blunder, ABR, etc. And then for Gen 7, you can do Trosco, ABR. Who's another person that's done phenomenal? Let's just say Pokegame. But or like people like Pokegame who are basically well, in every single gen. But like, what would you, who would you compare yourself to as a current player that people would know?
Through 7 or just
through from 5 to 7.
I would say I am Virgin Black White. Definitely not SPL level yet, but that can definitely be improved. So I'd say someone who's at the cusp of SPL. So probably, he won a store with Black White in it, and we played multiple friendlies.
Or could you say the name? Kind of your mic cut out. Could you say the name?
He won a Smogon tour, and which had Black White in it. We Black White games in stores. Someone else. Someone more familiar with. Someone like Blurry from Team Germany, I would say.
I see. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. Blurry. He's a cool dude. He helped me actually get better at the tier of Black and White too. As a matter of fact, so I definitely know him. All right. So Gen 6, who would you name?
Me and have played a bit of Oris together, and I know he played Oris and SPL. So I say I'm around his level. Definitely not better, but I definitely compete and win a few.
Dang! Like I'm sorry, but could you say that? Like, I don't know, maybe it's Discord, but like as soon as you're like, it's like some censor. As soon as you say the name, you like it goes dead. Could you say it one more time, man?
Genesis 7.
Genesis 7. Okay. I definitely know Genesis 7. All right.
Nice dude, yeah. And active on the Sun and Moon ladder a lot during OLT. I didn't try to actually play the tournament during the playoffs time, but I was in the top 20 people there, so I guess I could hang with all like the other people who were qualifying. Definitely not like an ABR or a C2 monster or something, but I could definitely compete.
Okay. And Gen 7?
That was for Gen 7.
Oh, Gen 7? Alright, my bad. Because Cinemas and ABR, I know they're definitely good in Gen 6. Must have misheard. But okay. Well, thank you so much for being here, man. I really do appreciate, giving me the time to interview you.
Thank you for doing this interview. Quite a few people asked for it, so I just said, hey, I might as well just... And you answered the call, which is great.
Do you have any, last statements you would like to make to the people before, we're done with this?
I'm assuming they're going to be commenting a lot, but like my decision's already made that I'm going to do this full time for at least like 4 to 6 months, if not the whole year. So like talking me out of like this decision isn't going to do anything. I hope that I accomplish something and y'all can follow along, because I think that'd be really cool.
Okay. I actually want to ask you like a fun question actually before we end this. The player that pops up a lot, and I feel like might as well ask you. what are being a Smogon? What are your opinions on Realistify? Just for the kicks. What are your opinions on Realistify?
Watched a few of his videos. I think he's very delusional and doesn't have a good grasp on competitive Pokemon, given the statements that he makes. He's a typical example of like a Donald Trump or a LeVar Ball character, where you can just talk a lot and garner a ton of views that way. So that's the person he comes up to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, guys, well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, please do comment below, and we may do a follow video. Depends if my man here has time. But I definitely hope you guys enjoy this. It's your boy njnp, and I'm out, guys. Peace.